Hey, it's the old man here, and I'm still standing. 47 days, I think. It's a big barn. Just an old man now, covered with scars. And most of them I got working on old junk cars in the daytime. Yeah, I do love working on cars, and I got a few scars on my hands, but um, it's a good hobby. I could have a lot worse hobbies, that's for sure. So let's check out the big barn. It seems like everyone likes to snoop in other people's barns, so here we go. Uh, you know, this is the pump house, and there's the pressure tank underneath those sleeping bag and all that stuff. Keep it from freezing. When it's really cold, I put a light out here, but plenty of stuff. 50 cents, U.S. Mint. Um, got a set of glass Studebaker taillights. I'm going to put them on my Subaru, I think. That'd look pretty cool. I got this from my daughter for my birthday. Mercedes, spring loaded. And you got the V12 turbo. I'm going to put that on there. It'll match my V10. We got the Sawzall. We got the air compressor. Got this battery. Check this out. Oh, yeah, that was actually a fake one that my son got when he worked at Les Schwab. It's empty, but apparently I put something in there to make it look real. I was gonna do a joke. We used to lift that thing up like it's really heavy and then trip and toss it to a friend, and they're like, "Whoa, look out!" But yeah, not this time. We won't do that. Got prevent the spread of harmful zebra mussels and aquatic plants. When I first moved up here, 86, I guess, African frogs were a big deal, and apparently they were pretty good sized frogs, and they would kill and eat anything they could, and so they were a very big issue. I haven't heard about them in years. Yeah, here's the big barn proper, part of it. Lots to see. Yeah, this is at least the third time I'm having trouble with my other phone. Good things take time, right? State of Washington. That is a pre-road flare. Before there was road flares, those striking, super hot ones, that's what they used. Diesel or kerosene, they put a wick in there, and that's what they used. When I first started, there was probably a dozen of them, and I grabbed them because they were going to throw them away. And over the years, I've given them away. Now I'm down to just one, I believe. More slot car stuff. HO scale. We actually got this thing out a few Christmases ago. Grandkids got it going. And they are fun, but I mean, compared to other stuff nowadays, old school. And I did it. There's the official proof. I stood at the official center of the world. Yeah, that's what he said. Got an old 6-volt battery charger with super old wire. I don't know if I'd trust that anymore. But that was the way it was. We got a brand new toilet seat. And I worked for Fish and Wildlife. We had to change those and repair them, and that was a leftover. My son used it as a dirty clothes hamper for years. And more slot car stuff. Now this is actually a counter. So when the car came through the slot, it would click it off and you'd know how many laps you did. Yeah, the old man's got stuff coming out his ears. There's a fuel pump for a Subaru, water pump, stuff from Space City. I will do a story on that. That place is historically cool. I don't know if this is bright enough. I think you can see it. There's like a log cabin and a silo and a water tank, water tower. Yeah, the old man had, I'll show you a picture of it in a minute. Here's some old beds. I think the kids had these when they were little. Yeah, the one thing I've noticed when people snoop, you got to take your time. You don't want to just race through it. I don't think anybody's in too big of a hurry these days. Yeah, the old a working dairy this was. The curved roof like that so that it would stay clean. There's the feed trough right there. Lots of cool stuff. What did they do with that? Huh. Oh well. I do spend a lot of time looking for stuff. I got the gist of where everything is at, but I still have to... Oh, the battery's low. Okay. You know, I used to get mad when I was younger and cuss about things. But after a while I realized it's easier to just say, that's funny. Like say you were going to pick all your birthday cards and meticulously set them all up on the counter, and the very last one, you bump it and they all fall down. Well, the guy could cuss and say, oh, a lot of words, but I prefer to say, that's funny. So now, the battery says it's going down. I got 7 minutes into it. You know what? Screw it. If it goes dead, I'll just make a 2-part story. So much to see. Big speakers. We got the record player, old vintage Crosley Stack-O-Matic. It works pretty good. And we got more slot car stuff, HO scale. And to the right person, they'd be really happy with them. There's a bunch of track and more parts. The hop-up kit for Thunderjet 500. I have no idea what that is. Straight roadways. A service manual for a Thunderjet 500 with the fabulous pancake motor. Your guess is as good as mine. And we got the Thrasher. You know, every year I think to myself, when I park it for the winter, the heater doesn't work good. And every time I bring this out, I think, do I really want to drive this thing again? And the answer has always been the affirmative. I like it. Keep people guessing. Oops, got an old flag here. And Studebaker parts. This is a Studebaker oil bath air cleaner. And this box here is Studebaker parts for the Champion 6 distributor, fuel pumps, miscellaneous stuff. And I have had that one at least 40 years. But you never know. Antifreeze. Records by the box. I bought this guy out because I got a couple Victrolas, and after I got them all home, I called a guy who was into old records, and I said, "What's the good ones?" And he said, "Well, these symphony ones are worthless." He goes, "They made 1 million of them, and nobody wants those. But anything like country western, hip hop. No, I'm kidding. Uh, Anything off a little bit, and out of the normal. That's what people want. Here's a McCall's magazine from 1958. Your diet questions answered. I married the wrong man. Child care in Hollywood. And the true and shocking story of a minister accused. You know, they always like to bring out the worst in ministers and stuff. They should have one that says, the amazing story of a minister who really helped people and went out of his way to be a nice guy. And more records. And here's some real records. Yeah, it's fun to come out and work in the shop and have some tunes to play. The Earl Scruggs Review. Old 2-cylinder air compressor. It might even be 4. There might be 2 pistons on each side. More useless information. Yeah, the gal who did all the printing on my cars, pretty much anything we wanted to rig up, she'd do it. Jigsaw. You know, I don't know how long this is going to work. Here's the back end of it. Because the battery said it was going low. So we're just going to have to wing it here. If it all of a sudden stops, I'll be back to finish it. Old American tools. These are like 3/8, 5/8. I pretty much use metric all the time. Old headstone. Actually a new headstone, nothing on it. When that's plugged in, the guy used to have a whip and he would whip the horses. I think it'd be very popular today. Subaru transmission, 4-wheel drive. Oops, I'm caught on something. Hang on. Some more records. Oh, here we go. Commander Cody and his Lost Planet Airman. He, I don't, you know, now that I think about it, I don't know why I liked him so much. He was a hard drinker for the longest time, and I was sober, from booze anyway. And, yeah, Truck Stop Rock. I don't know. You know what it is? I know what it is, because he told stories. He sang ballads that were understandable, and I like that. There it is. Space City. A guy built this back in the 50s, I guess, 60s. We found that row of rocks. The rest is all overgrown, and keep on me. I will do a story on that. That's a historically cool place. The Wild Colonials. This can't be life. You know, I almost feel that way after being in lockdown for 46 days. Kind of carried it out. Oops. You got a really cool canoe. We used that last time it was flooding. That was fun. Got an erector set. No, nothing in there, but here's all the goodies. These were fun. When we were kids, and you held them together with just screws, nuts and screws. Methodical work. And a Honda 90. It runs. And another old bicycle. And more records. And another motorcycle. That's like a 50cc or something. And this, that's what the Space City house looked like. It burnt down now. And those are 2 Cords, not a Honda Cord, but the name of the company was Cord, C-O-R-D. And 1938, I think this is, the car. Front wheel drive, straight 8, very ahead of the times. And here is a hand cane chair. It's actually in really good shape. It's fun. You do it this way, and then you do it that way, and then you do this way again, and then that way again, and then corner to corner. It says low battery. We may have to cut short here in a second. Hurry up, hurry up! No. I'll take her slow and steady. If I have to make 2 of them, that's what I'll do. Bicycles. Yeah, you don't want to rush through something like this. Roll fast bike. That's cool. Look at this. Got a little rack in the back, white walls. And another one. Yeah, bikes are cool. Let's see. More chairs and just random stuff. That red seat's out of a 1964 Valiant. Zach, if you watch this, it's still here. Plenty to look at. An old gas stove. It's not a wood stove, but it's like an old, looks like a wood cook stove, but some friends were moving and didn't have a place. I said, well, bring it here. You can leave it here for as long as you want. Nice nickel plating and baked enamel finish. Let's see here. Get past this. Country music cavalcade. Yeah, ballads. That's what I like. Rock and roll just got old after a while. If it had a story to it, I like that. 1974. Golly, is that it? Subaru Coupe GL. My neighbor kid came over one day and said, I want to restore one of your Subarus. So we looked at them all, and he chose this one. And we put a new clutch in it, I think, and a new motor, and ran for a long time. Then he got kind of tired because it was nickel dime in him, and I said, you know what? Bring it over here. You can leave it here for 10 years if you want. But maybe someday you'll want to fire it up again. Because he just, yeah. So here it is. Cat prints and all. And we got a old iron crib with the cushions and everything. We got a sled for when the time is right. What a bunch of stuff. And old bicycles again. My mother was the last one to ride that gold bike, and that was a long time ago. There's another girl's bike. And there's my stash Subaru brat. Guy offered me $1,500. I turned him down. I said, I'm not going to sell it. I might, if the right deal was involved, but not right now. Yeah, the sought-after, coveted T-tops. You can take this whole piece off in the summertime. It looks nice. I leave the windows down so the cat can get in there. We got a cat, Mister, and he's always down here hunting. And I thought, mice are a big deal. They get into the cars, make trouble, and the cat keeps them out. So here's the last of my chair stash. And I have no idea what I'm going to do with all this stuff. I'm thinking, yeah, I might just burn them up for kindling. I mean, it's like, I've asked different people over the years. I got parts. See this powder right there? Powder post beetles. That's junk. You could probably kill it with WD-40 or something, but it really weakens it. But yeah, I may just end up bucking them up for kindling for next winter. And being a guy who likes old stuff, it'll be hard, but in the same breath, yeah, I don't know what else I can do with them all. And here's the Stash records. These are the good ones I found. Let me see if I can pull out a good one here. The Sundowner Band, Possum Sop, whatever that is. Shufflefoot Rag. Yeah. Yeah, I went through all of them, and this box, that box, and that one down there have, they aren't classical. So we're on 20 minutes, and the battery's still alive. Maybe I'll wrap this up before we come to an abrupt end. So thank you very much for watching the show. Yak Shamash to you. Please stay safe. It's been, like I say, 46 days. And we went to the post office the other day, and I had a mask, and I had gloves, and I thought, screw it. I've been keeping it together this long. I'm not going to let my guard down now. So, with that, happy trails, my friends. Thank you so much for stopping by, and stay safe. We'll get through this thing. You know, it is like the Twilight Zone. Or you know what I told people? It's like a death in the family. It's like, it's hard, and then sometimes you forget. But then you remember, and it's like, oh yeah, we are under lockdown. We are having a really hard time. It's easy to forget, but we must be vigilant. Yeah. Lots of stuff. But, you know, I've told people I could have a lot worse habits. Yeah, it's still running. Check this out. For moving logs. I don't know the exact name of it, but guy on each end. And I haven't used this one, but I've used ones just like it. And made the job a lot easier. So, I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Yeah, usually when I get done, I think, I should have showed him this or that or the other thing. But let's see if we can do it. This is Bobby Smith. He is our playmate. Bobby sells reefers to the other children at school. Sometimes we buy a stick from Bobby. We light up behind the garage. Crazy, man. I don't think it focused. Maybe it did. Mad Magazine, 1962, I think. Oh, hey, I'm still good. I'll wrap it up before I bring out some more stuff to show you. And at least for the third time, thank you all for sticking around. And God bless us all. Take care.